Sahanam. Inhale deeply.
Hari baju રાખને એટલે પછી
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. So, as we are covering chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, and in last session, we were looking at we were looking at the shlokas about two shlokas we saw. One is Durena hi avaram karma buddhi yogat dhananjaya buddhau sharanam anvicha krupaya phalahetaha. This is shloka number 49, where he said that if there are karma yoga buddhi, meaning okay, so there are two types of karmas: sakama karma, nishkama karma, performing action with desire or without desire. Now, if you are doing action with desire, or even if you're doing if you're doing action with desire, it leads to a particular path. And if we perform action without desire, and that those actions again duties without desire, then it takes us in a different path. And there's a huge gap between these two. Okay, so durena means there's a lot of distance between karma karma and buddhi yoga. Karma is, they're talking about regular karma with desire also, and buddhi yoga means karma yoga. So buddhau sharanam anvicha krupanaha phalahetaha. So put the effort to move from sakarma karma to karma yoga to eventually sankhya yoga. Sankhya yoga means to be able to set our mind in Sankhya Yoga, meaning the highest reality. So each of them, so compared to Sakama Karma, Nishkama Karma is better. Compared to Nishkama Karma, Karma Yoga is better. Compared to that, Sankhya Yoga is better. Okay? And this Sakama Karma, why is it condemned, is because when we are looking at phala, okay, if we are looking for just performing actions only with desires, we're only performing action for results. And what are those results? The results are giving us sukha and dukkha, because of which we have to experience those sukha and dukkha. So that means more body, one body after other body, one life after other life. That means one death after other death. So we go through this cycle of birth and death and birth and death. In fact, in many Upanishads, sometimes we are called as Martya. Martya, I mean, like many of you know Hindi, it almost sounds like Martha, right? Dying. So that means we are Martyas, we are mortals. That's how it is translated into English as mortals. But what essentially it means that we are actually going from one death to another death. Okay. So whereas with Karma Yoga or Sankhya Buddhi, we are going towards Vidya, meaning knowledge, and leading to moksha. Okay, liberation. Then we also saw the 50th verse, Buddhi Yukta Jahati Ubhe Sukruta Dushkrute. Okay, so that means both Sukruta and Dushkruta, both good actions and bad actions are given up by one who is practicing Karma Yoga. Okay, so Yoga Buddhi is leading to renunciation of both Punya and Papa, good and bad, merits and demerits, or merits and sins. Through the Sankhya Buddhi, Tasmat Yoga Yujasva Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam. So through Sankhya Buddhi, one gains the knowledge, and this yoga, the definition of yoga here is given as karma su kaushalam, meaning performance of actions with dexterity is yoga. Meaning performance of actions in such a way we are not bound by the results of those actions. We are not bound by the results of those actions when we do with karma yoga bhavana, where the idea is like, again, like the four components of karma yoga: perform duties alone, don't expect any results. Okay, Ishwararpana Buddhi, offer everything to the Lord, and Prasada Buddhi, whatever comes, take it as the Prasada from the Lord. When we have all of that, what happens is that any action we perform, those results are not binding us. Instead, they are cleansing out our previous vasanas. Okay, so that is why performing action in such a way is the Karma Yoga. So with that, we'll go to shloka number 51. Sharda, you ready? Before that, right? What I'm going to do is that I'm going to break down the words. Okay, so for everyone's okay, karmajam, buddhi, yuktaha. Okay, karmajam, buddhi, yukta, hi, phalam, tyaktva, manishinaha. Then the next word is janma, bandha, vinirmuktaha. Okay, vinirmuktaha, padam, gachanti, anamayam. So the gachanti, anamayam becomes gachanti, anamayam. Okay, so this is a breakdown. So, Sharda, why don't you lead? We'll follow.
I'm not sure. I didn't practice, so I'm sorry about that. But I'll try.
So then,
Kar kar
go ahead.
Karmajam buddhi yukta hi
Karmajam buddhi yukta hi
phalam tattva manishana
phalam tyaktva manishinaha
janma bandha vinirmuktaha
janma bandha vinirmuktaha
padam gachanti anamayam.
padam gacchantyanāmayam. So here, now, here the Lord is talking about the results of karma yoga. So far, what Bhagavan in the previous verses, what he did, he has described what's the difference between regular karma and karma yoga. Then he described how to perform karma yoga, like as in, like we just saw the definition, right? That is yoga karmasu kaushalam. So now, what is the benefit of doing this? That is what he's explaining in this verse. Okay, manishinaha. Okay, so humans are also called as Manushya. Okay, so Manushya, and then when a human being is of a higher stature, he is called as Manishi. Okay, in fact, uh, Shankaracharya ji wrote a 5 verse poem called Manisha Panchakam. Okay, so what is this Manishi? Okay, Manishi means Manishinaha. Is that right? So Manasaha Ishan iti Manishinaha. So that means Isha means the controller. Okay, so one who has control on the mind, that such a person is Manishi. Okay, so mastery over mind is the greatest achievement. We have mastery over everything all around us, things around us, etc. But probably we also have, depending upon your power and your stature in the society, you may even have mastery over other people also. Okay. However, having the mastery of the mind is the most difficult thing, and such people who has the control of their mind, mastery over their mind, they are called Manishinaha. And these Manishinaha, okay, so these people who has mastery over mind, how did they become master? How did they get mastery over mind? Is because of buddhi yuktaha. Okay, because they are united with buddhi. What buddhi we are talking about? We're talking about the here in this chapter, two types of buddhis are talked about. Buddhi means here we're talking about the attitude or the mindset. Okay, here. Okay, not the intellect specifically. So one is initially it is talking about karma yoga buddhi. Okay, karma yoga buddhi means intent to perform, the nature of performance of karma yoga. Now, once you master that, then what happens? Your intention changes, or like your ideas change into Sankhya Buddhi. Once you do the prerequisite of Karma Yoga, then we become eligible for Sankhya, okay, which is Upanishad values, etc. And all this stuff we talked between verses, whatever Lord Krishna taught us from verse number 11 to 30 is Sankhya Yoga. Right, so that's Sankhya Yoga Buddhi. So now these Manishinaha, these great people, okay. Why are we talking about great people? Because we want to emulate them. We want to emulate them, so that is why we want to know about them. So whatever they are already there, we want to get there. That is why. Okay. So if it is said that they are endowed with Yoga Buddhi and eventually with Sankhya Buddhi, so that means what? It is not information for us, rather, we should strive to have Yoga Buddhi followed by Sankhya Buddhi. Okay, so these people, okay, Karmajam, okay, karma means performance of action here. Jam means Janma. Janma means born out of karma. Okay. Karmajam means born out of karma. What is born out of karma is the result of the karma, meaning the results of the action. Okay. That is karma phala. What is that karma phala is giving? It is giving sukha, dukkha, meaning pain and pleasure, and samsara, life. Okay. So this is what is giving. So now what are these people doing? These Buddhi Yukta Manishnaha, these Manishis who are the controllers of their mind, who are endowed with this Buddhi, what are they doing? Karmajam Phalam Tyaktva. Okay, whatever result, Karmajam, okay, whatever the Karmajam Phalam, whatever result that is born out of this karma, Tyaktva means having discarded. So first of all, they are discarding the results of the action. And we saw how to discard the results of action just in the previous shloka, right? By not getting attached to the result and offering all our actions to the Lord and accept anything and everything that comes from the Lord as prasada, the Lord. So that way they are renouncing it. So then when they do that, what is happening? Just we said, karma phala is going to lead to sukha, dukkha, and consequent births, consequent deaths, consequent samsara. So that means that they are getting rid of all of that entire thing. Okay. And how did they do that? How did they execute it? It is simply that they can. It is not like they start doing something and they started doing something else. It's not like they changed their profession. It's not like they completely redid their life. Rather, they continue to do whatever they are doing, assuming they are doing good things. Okay, I mean, being living a righteous life. Okay, as long as they're continuing to live the righteous life, what now changed is the intent. Okay, the intent has changed. So even if I perform a good action with a bad intent, it will give bad results. If my intent and action are good, it will give me punya, merits, because of which I get sukha. But if my intent and action are both good and there is no desire for the result, then this performance of this action is going to purify my mind. Purify my mind means what? It is going to remove all the pre-existing vasanas. When those pre-existing vasanas are removed, what happens? Those vasanas don't enter into my head. Right now, what happens? My previous vasanas enter into my head. Because those vasanas enter into my head, my mind gets agitated. And because the mind gets agitated, I want to do something or don't do something. Okay, I like something or I dislike something. So all of these, when they are removed, nothing is entering into my head that agitates my mind. So then what happened is that my mind is at peace. So this is what we call as chitta shuddhi. Okay, so this is one part. Okay, so they said buddhi yukta manishinaha. Okay, karmajam phalam tyaktva. So that means that they having discarded all the results of the action, they also did something else. What happened? Janma bandha vinirmukta. Okay, janma bandha vinirmukta means all the bondages of the next set of lives, they are freed from them also. Okay, so now today, what happens? The current life ends when prarabdha karma ends. Okay. Now, these people, because the knowledge has come, their sanchita karma also ended. Okay. So, prarabdha karma means this body is born to exhaust a preset of vasanas. Until those vasanas are exhausted, this body is not going to drop. The moment those vasanas are exhausted, okay, those results of the previous karmas have to be experienced. As soon as those karmas are experienced, the results are experienced, this body is going to fall. So that is prarabdha karma. It doesn't mean that all our uh, like papa punyas are finished, or it doesn't mean all our vasanas are finished. It just the purpose of this particular physical body is done, but there are a lot more. That lot more that is still left is sanchita karma. Because of that sanchita karma, we have reserved a, a series of bodies that we had to go through as in next lives, next set of lives to experience those pending results. Okay. So now when the knowledge comes, all these bodies that we have reserved for future, they all get burnt out immediately. Because they get burnt out, the moment this body falls down, falls off, the current body falls off, there is no more life. Okay. There's no more subsequent birth. Now, because there is no, why? Because there's no more deha. Deha means body. Because there is no more deha, it is called as videha. Videha means devoid of all bodies. So then the liberation is called as videha mukti. Okay. So So that is what it is talking about, is that Janma Bandha Vinirmukta. So that means that freed from all the bondages of all upcoming lives. Okay. And then what happens? Okay, so first they got rid of karmajam phalam tyaktva, got rid of the results of the action. As a result, they got rid of future lives. And then what happened? Anamayam padam gachanti. So that means that amayam, anamayam, what does it mean? Amayam means dukkha, okay, sorrow. Anamayam means freed from the dukkha, freed from the sorrow. Now, the sorrow is threefold. Okay, one is adhyatmika, okay, which is internal sorrow, body sorrow, mind sorrow, like as in like all our tensions and worries are all internal sorrows. And adi bhautika is second one, which is like from surroundings. Okay, it may be heat, cold, uh, concern about who is going to go become next president. All of those are adi bhautika. Okay, and adi daivika means it is from sources beyond my knowledge. So that means that it could be a snowstorm, okay, when I'm not expecting it, or any lightning, thunder, etc. Basically from beyond my knowledge. Okay, so that is Adi Daika. So all these three types of sorrows are there, and we become free from all these three types of sorrows. And then Padam. Okay, Padam means the ultimate goal. Okay, Padaneyam iti padyate iti Padam. That means one that is praiseworthy is called as Padam. So you will reach one that is praiseworthy. What is that is ultimate praiseworthy is, you can call it as moksha, becoming one with Brahman. And if you are thinking about a Lord with a particular form, then you're reaching at the feet of the Lord. Because that's another way to look at it. Okay, so this is what the result of Karma Yoga. Okay, so here Bhagwan has given the benefits of Karma Yoga. Of course, like he has to do Sankhya Yoga also in between, but this is the path. Okay, so any questions based on what we heard so far?
No, I think the main idea behind is the purification of the mind. All the tools that are prescribed here are to purify the mind so that your mind is constantly directed towards the Brahman. And when the body falls off, the BMI is gone, the Vasana is gone, then you are obviously with God. That's what you are already made the union. And so everything else is gone. There is no ego, there is no other issues. And but to reach that point, we have to go through these paths or tools that you just talked about.
Yes.
Excuse me, which adhyaya and which sloka are you at?
We are in. We just finished verse number 61. Sorry, verse number 60.
51.
61. Yeah, it is
Second
61.
adhyaya?
We just finished 61 of chapter 2, Madhukarji.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No, it's 51, not 61.
Sorry, 51. Sorry.
51. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sharda, ready for the next one? So let me break down the words. Okay. 52, verse number 52, 52. Okay. Yada te moha kalilam. Okay. Moha kalilam, because moha kalilam is one word. It's actually like two parts are there. Buddhihi vyatitarishyati. So this buddhihi vyatitarishyati becomes buddhir vyatitarishyati. Okay. Unfortunately, vyatitarishyati is one word. Okay. Tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. Okay. Yada te mohakarilam buddhirvyatitarishyati tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavyasa shrutasya. Go ahead, Sharda.
Okay. Yada te moha kalilam
Yada te mohakalilam
buddhirvyatatirishyati
buddhirvyatitarishyati
tada gantasi nirvedam
tada gantasi nirvedam
shrotavyasya shrutasya cha.
shrotavyasya shrutasya
Oh,
cha
yes, sir. Sorry. Yeah. Shrotavyasya shrutasya cha.
shrotavyasya shrutasya cha.
Shruta- Yeah. I need to practice. I'm sorry. I didn't practice today.
You're doing great. Amazing.
So here in the shloka, what happened is that now, so the question is that Bhagwan has said, oh, you need toward Arjuna that you need to practice this Buddhi Yoga, meaning Karma Yoga and Sankhya Yoga. So now the question is how long? Okay. So now there's a doubt coming in Arjuna that how long should I practice this Karma Yoga Buddhi? How long should I practice Sankhya Yoga Buddhi? Is it like a 2-year program, 1+1, okay, or 4-year program? What is that? So those questions are there. Okay. So, and how do we get there? Okay, so that's a typical question. Okay, and unfortunately, the answer is it depends, of course, right? And it depends on what? Okay, it must depend on something. So the idea is that the result of Karma Yoga Buddhi is Chitta Shuddhi. We just said that, right? And how do you know we got Chitta Shuddhi then? Okay, how do I know my mind is purified? If my mind is purified, what happens is there's not much pressure in my mind. Because there's not much pressure and there's not much likes or dislikes, what is the expression of lack of likes and dislikes is detachment, vairagya. Okay? So the result of Chitta Shuddhi that is expressed as vairagya in our day-to-day life. And now, how do I know this complete vairagya has occurred? Okay? Then this is when there's no more possibility of raga or dvesha, meaning there are no more possibility of likes and dislikes, because purity of the mind impacts the mind. So when that happens, okay, the mind and intellect become very clear. But what is my current state? My current state is that there is dirt in my mind. Okay. And how is that? What is that expression that, just like we said, Vairagya's the Chitta Shuddhi's expression is Vairagya, we said, dispassion or detachment. The dirt in my mind, like impure mind, what is its expression? It is Moha. Moha means delusion. Okay. What is the delusion? I am seeing joy where there is no joy. Meaning, I'm seeking joy where there is no joy. That means that I am seeking happiness from this world, whereas this world cannot give me happiness. Okay. So now, when we are looking for happiness in outside world, we have created a problem. Okay. And then we work hard and somehow like we find a solution. And then we say, oh, we are very happy. Okay. So, for example, when I see it is different for different people, right? Actually, Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda gives a very beautiful example. Actually, let's talk about Gurudev's example. He says that a, a, a wife, husband, of course, he does all the stereotype. Okay, so gender stereotyping. So bear with me. Okay, this is not my example. It is Gurudev's example. Okay, so a husband, wife, and a baby, they go to mall. When they go to mall, what happened? The uh, they enter the store, and like, there are a lot of stores in the mall. Okay, the first they go into a toy store. Okay, so back in the days we had Toys R Us, KB Toys, etc. Now I don't know what toy stores are there, right? So now all three of them went in there. After like 5 minutes, they want to come out. The baby doesn't want to leave. The baby is crying. I want to stay here. I want that toy. I want this toy. For mother and father, there is complete vairagya. Okay, they are detached from these toys. They drag the baby out. Then they went into women's clothing store. Let's say White House Black Market or Ann Taylor, or pick your choice. Okay, those are the two stores Maha goes to, so I know those. Okay, so they went to a clothing store. Now some time passed, and of course, the child has absolute vairagya for the clothes. Husband also doesn't have any attachment to the clothes, and together they had to drag the mom out. Then they went into a gadget store. Okay, so like a Best Buy or something. After 10 minutes, again, they had to drag the dad out, whereas mom and child did not have any attachment to any of the stuff there. So the point is, why this long example was given is that we may think that, oh, you know what? I don't have any likes or dislikes for this particular thing anymore. Okay, so maybe I got vairagya. Okay, so as we are aging, right, the amount of food we eat is slowed down. And now we say, oh, you know what? In my young age, I used to eat all pizzas or this or that or this, but now I have absolute vairagya. I have no desire for any food or any sort of food. If it is there, I will eat. If it is not there, I won't eat. It doesn't matter. Whatever cuisine it is, it doesn't matter. So I have a detachment for that. But we have a different set of attachments. Okay. So here, what Bhagwan is talking about is this Chitta Shuddhi and Vairagya. This Vairagya has to be complete. Okay. So that Vairagya has to be complete across everything. So that is the essential thing that Bhagwan is talking about. So in this shloka, you see, it starts with Yada. Okay. In Sanskritam, usually like Yada is there, it will always be followed by tada somewhere in the same sentence. It is almost like in English, wherever comes in English, in an English sentence, wherever is there, then there should be there. Okay, so if that's a sentence which has wherever and the word there is not there, it is incomplete sentence. So in the same way, tada and yada and tada are linked. Okay, so the shloka starts with yada. Yada means when, okay, whenever. Okay, so then tada means then. Okay, so the whole purpose of the shloka is again, is what? Is explaining how long we need to do the practice. Okay, so moha kalilam. Okay, so moha kalilam. Okay, moha is desire. Okay, kalilam is dirt. Okay, yada te moha kalilam. Moha kalilam means this moha is delusion. Okay, sorry, moha is delusion. Okay, dirt of delusion. Yadate moha kalilam buddhi vyatitarishyati. So vyatitarishyati means will remove. Okay, so when yadate moha kalilam, when the dirt of the mind, buddhi vyatitarishyati means it will remove, means like when moha, when the dirt of the mind is currently veiling the power of intellect, okay? So moha again is what? Like a delusion means it is based on aviveka, meaning there is no discrimination between what is right and wrong, or there's no discrimination between what is real and unreal. Okay. So then, okay, Karma Yoga is going to lead Chitta Shuddhi, and Chitta Shuddhi is going to lead to Viveka. And when this Viveka arises, that is when the dirt of Moha will remove. Okay. So when this Moha Kalilam, Buddhihi Vyatitarishyati, so when Buddhi is able to get rid of this dirt of delusion, okay, and that is possible by Viveka. Viveka is possible because of Chitta Shuddhi. Chitta Shuddhi is possible by Karma Yoga. Okay, so practice the Yoga Buddhi. If we practice Yoga Buddhi, Chitta Shuddhi will arise and it will help me cross over the dirt of Moha. Tada, then means when this Chitta Shuddhi helped me in creation of Viveka, which in turn helped me in crossing over Moha, Kalilam. Tada, that is when Gantasi. Gantasi means when the Moha goes away. Gantasi means goes away. Okay. Then go ahead and apply Sankhya Yoga. Okay, so until then, wait. Okay, without proper Viveka or Vairagya, if you try to just stay in Sankhya Yoga and not do Karma Yoga, it is a problem. So until then, keep doing Karma Yoga, continue to do Shravana Manana Nidhyasana. Do that. Shravana Manana Nidhyasana means listening to scriptures, reflecting on them, abiding in them. Continue to do that along with Karma Yoga until then. So, Shrotavyasa, Shrutasya cha. Now, Shrota or Shruta is one and the same. Only thing is that one is in past tense, other is future tense. So, that means whatever you hear in future or whatever you have heard, okay? So, no matter, that means that whatever you are going to hear or whatever you heard, it should not create any disturbance in our mind. That means now whatever I heard is it only limited to hearing only? No. It is applicable to all five jnanendriya. So that means that whatever we hear, whatever we see, whatever we taste, touch, okay, all of them should not create any sensation in our mind or anchoring in mind. Okay. So when that happens, okay, so that means whatever I see in this world, it should not disturb me. Okay. So that's where the previous example of Gurudev is applicable, because for mom, the toys did not create any disturbance. The electronic store did not create any disturbance. It is the clothes store that created disturbance. Similarly, each of them had got their own Achilles heel. So we should not have any of those Achilles heel, and our Vairagya has to be complete. And our Vairagya, when that is complete, that is when we are ready to that is when we know that our Vairagya is complete and we are ready to move to the Sankhya Yoga alone. So, Yadate Moha Kalilam Buddhi Vyatitarishyati. When the Moha Kalila, when the dirt of delusion is removed from the mind, okay, at that time, understand that we are good to go forward. Tada Gantasi Nirvedam Shrotavyasa Shrutasya cha. So, okay, so at that time, like whatever you hear, whatever you are about to hear, none of them are going to disturb you. Okay, so that's the essence of this shloka. So any questions before we go to the next.
No, I think the only point I remember is don't look for temporary pleasures, but look for the permanent pleasure. And these are all temporary pleasures that are momentary. They come and go and make us want more and more of the same. And the whole process gets attached to our mind and we cannot go. So as long as we keep our goal higher, that we are looking for permanent happiness, not temporary happiness. And in the process, I think you forgot to mention about Maya, which is what he has elaborated on. The delusion is Maya. So unless you control Maya, which is mind, nothing can move forward. So I just wanted to make a reference of the Maya in this context. Yeah.
So yeah, so Maya definitely basically, yeah, you're right, Chanji, is that like Maya is the mind is Maya. For that matter, like the whole of the world is also the same expression of Maya, anything that you see from external world. So, but here, Bhagavan is not bringing in the topic of Maya yet. Okay, so that's why so in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan brings in the concept of Maya only in chapter 7. Okay, until then, he doesn't introduce Maya to Arjuna yet. Okay. So
I just had a quick comment on that. Like, so, we keep on talking about that how it takes long and all that to really come to that. So no wonder, like, we are still, like, after so many years also, we are still at the learning stage, I think. I mean, everybody is at a different stage of learning, but the learning keeps on going. So it's a long process. It takes a long time to get rid of all the dirt in the brain. Just a comment.
yeah. So, but see, the thing is that you're right, Sharda. But see, the thing is that the nice thing is, this is not the first time you are hearing Gita, right? We heard Gita of Puja Gurudev. We heard the Gita from Puja Guruji, right? So now what happened is that each time we are listening, there is a change, okay? And there is a refinement in our understanding, okay? And that refinement, it is not just at an understanding level, but also at experiential level also, there is a refinement, okay? First time when we heard all these concepts are foreign to us, okay? And later on, as we are hearing, then as we are hearing it over and over again and again, we started observing a little bit, little by little, right? Into the world and started seeing, oh yeah, so whatever this book called Gita is saying, it looks like it is true. Yes, there is no real happiness in the outside world. Yeah, now I get it. Now I see it. Okay, so I keep hearing what Gurudev was saying it for 2 years or so, but now I know what it means. Okay, so like that, it is bringing in, and then next time when you hear and it re-emphasizes the same thing, right? So then you say, yes, not only I see, now I need to take this into consideration. Okay. Third time you hear, yes, you do take that into consideration and you start applying that, right? So like that, what is happening is this is percolating a little deeper and deeper each time we study this. So that is the advantage of this. So shall we go to the next shloka? I'll do the breakdown. It is verse number 53. Okay. Shruti viprapatipanna. Okay. Te yada sthasyati nischala samadhau achala. So samadhau achala together becomes samadhavachala. Okay. Samadhau achala, that is. Okay. Together it becomes samadhavachala. Buddhihi tada. Okay, so buddhihi plus tada becomes buddhistada. Okay, buddhistada yogam avapsyasi. Okay, but because you are going to break it down at a half point, right? Samadhavachala buddhihi tada yogam avapsyasi. So, ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shruti vipratipanna te
Shruti vipratipanna te
yada sthasyati nischala
yada
yada
sthasyati nischala
samadhav achala buddhi
samadhavachala
Sambhavachala
buddhi.
buddhi
tada yogam sorry tada yogam avapsayasi. Sorry, I didn't get this one. Tada
Yogam,
Yogam.
tada yogam avapsyasi.
yeah.
Avapsyasi.
Tada yogam avapsyasi.
tada yogam avapsyasi.
Okay. So now, okay, so the question is answered that, okay, when you get vairagya, complete vairagya, understand that you have passed karma yoga. Okay, because you got chitta shuddhi. Okay, so you got chitta shuddhi, that means that, okay, you have graduated from karma yoga. What about when do I pass Sankhya yoga then? Okay, that question is being answered here. Okay, when am I going to pass from the Sankhya yoga, or like, when do you think that I am fit, or like, I'm done? Okay, so this is being answered here, right? Te buddhi. Okay, so te. So the te, the letter te, you see it in the second word, actually, second single syllable in the first line. Te means your. Buddhi. Okay, where is buddhi? Okay, it is actually in second line. Samadha vachala buddhi. Okay. So why are we mixing up this like this? It's just to remind you that in Sanskritam, no matter where you put which word, okay, the order of word doesn't matter in making a sentence, and for the sake of writing in proper meter, they mix and match as needed. Okay, so for example, in English, we say Rama killed Ravana. Okay, three words. Rama killed Ravana. Now, if you interchange Rama and Ravana, it appears if the Ravana killed Rama means it's exactly opposite meaning. Now, if you say killed before, killed Rama, Ravana, it doesn't make any sense. Who killed who, what is unknown. Whereas in Sanskritam, Ramaha, Ravanam, Hanti, let's say. Okay? Ramaha, Ravanam, Hanti means Rama killed Ravana, let us say. Then you change the Rama and Ravana positions, right? Ravanam, Ramaha, Hanti, the meaning still remains same. Hanti, Ravanam, Ramaha, the meaning will still remain same. Hanti, Ramaha, Ravana, the meaning will still remain the same. Because within each word, okay, see there's Ramaha is there, okay, Ravanam is there, okay. So they describe what is the subject, what is the object, okay, all of those are defined right within those itself, okay. It is Ramaha versus Ramam, Ravanaha versus Ramam, Ravanam. So they make the difference, okay, whether it's first, what do you call, like first case or second case, third case, those are inbuilt in there. So because of that, the whole taking advantage of that, the poet writes in such a way that they fit the meter. So when part of the exercise is trying to figure out which of these words are where and putting it together. By the way, I told you all of this, but I don't know how to do it. I'm just following a book. Okay, so I just want to tell you what is the rationale behind we are doing this. I might have told you before, but just once in a while, refresher. Okay. So te buddhi means te means you or your. Okay, your buddhi. Okay, your buddhi. Who is saying? Bhagwan is saying your buddhi, and he's referring to Arjuna. And if he's referring to Arjuna, that means he's referring to us. Okay, my buddhi. Means what? Okay, I must do something about my buddhi. What do I need to do? Shruti. Shruti means Veda. Okay. Shruti. Why do we call Vedas as Shruti? Because this knowledge is received through hearing, okay, through tradition, and no one knows what is its origin. Okay, even the sages who heard the first mantras they heard the sound in their head when at the peak of their meditation. That is what it's called as Shruti. Te buddhi Shruti Viprapatipanna. Okay. So Viprapatipanna, what it means is that the lack of clarity because of this knowledge. Okay, so Shruti is knowledge, Viprapatipanna is confusion. Okay, because of the because of the knowledge, right? We see, like we heard something and there is a confusion. Okay, for example, first time when we heard "You are God" in Chinmaya mission, like, hold on, hold on. What do you mean by I am God? Okay, so because we did not understand that, okay, it actually created a confusion. Okay, but once that confusion has to be resolved internally. So when we go through Shastras, okay, any Shastra, we will have a lot of questions, okay, a lot of, and we are not actually clean state, right? So then all those questions must be answered. All those questions have to be resolved because, okay, now we know what Jiva Brahma Aikyata, what it means. Okay. However, sometimes you see that there is within the Shastra somewhere it says, oh, if you perform this, like let's say you go to any Satyana Swami puja, etc. Oh, if you do perform this puja, these benefits are there, those benefits are there, and the whole list of benefits are given as if that alone is the thing. Everything else is nothing. Now, should I stop Vedanta and do the puja? Okay, Satyana puja every day. Okay, then somewhere you say Gayatri mantra is the essence of all Vedas. You just do upasana of Gayatri mantra and you're done. Oh, so then I don't need to do meditation. I have to do upasana. Okay, and then these kind of questions are there for us. And then even within Vedanta, right? We have Saguna Brahma, meaning Ishvara, okay, with form and attributes. Then there is an advantage, there's a benefit when you do Saguna Brahma Upasana, okay, that is praying to a particular form of the Lord. Or Saguna Brahma Phala Vishesha. Okay, so no, you're not doing, let's say actually Nirguna Brahma is there. And you're doing Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Should I do Saguna Brahma Upasana or Nirguna Brahma Upasana? What is the benefit of doing Saguna Brahma Upasana versus Nirguna Brahma Upasana? Okay, when should I do this? When should I do that? Okay, so these kind of questions are all there. And okay, I don't have all those kind of questions now. Okay, because I don't know all of those. Let's say, like I was talking to someone in Orlando center yesterday. He was asking, tell me, like, I want to donate some money. Now, let us say I have, okay, these numbers I'm making up, these numbers, okay? I want to donate 10K. Should I donate 10K to the same center? Or should I donate 10K between 10 different organizations? Because they also need money. These guys also need money. What does your scripture say about it? Who should I give money to? Well, so it's a question, right? So what happens is that Because the thing is that this person has money. The intent is also good. He wants to give money. And the intent is not to gain fame or name. Okay. He wants to genuinely help. But where he should help, how should help. Okay. Even there could be a confusion. Okay. And even when we are following the injunctions of the scriptures, we can have those confusions. So what happens is when we are talking about Shruti Vipra Pratipanna, so the Shastras must be properly understood. And there should not be any confusion in terms of, not just in terms of understanding, but execution of that. Okay. And when to apply what, right? So because like we say, mm, uh, slow and steady wins the race, and you also say that you snooze, you lose. Okay, when to say you snooze, you lose, when to apply slow and steady wins the race, right? So those kind of questions are there. When to apply what? That kind of a clarity should we should have. Then when we have that clarity, what happens is that sthasyati nischala. Okay, so then the mind is going to have nischala. Chala means movement. Nischala means no movement. So that means that it is at peace. It is at peace because just like all the pieces of information that I gathered from all the scriptures, they all fit perfectly in a jigsaw puzzle. Okay. When that happened, okay, that is when I have a clear understanding of not just every bit, a bit here, a bit there, etc., but how they all fit. Okay. And so we are able to, in Shravana, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to get to the essence. Okay. And then we are getting this final message, Jiva Brahmaikyata. So we need to completely understand this Jiva Brahmaikyata, right? So in Shravana, we are getting this message. And with Manana, we are removing any questions. Okay. And when all those doubts are removed, then the mind becomes without any, there is no more disturbance in mind. Then what happens? Samadhau achara buddhi. So Shravana is done, Manana is done. Next is Nitidhyasana, okay, which is abiding in it. So Samadhi means the buddhi. So what happens in Samadhi is buddhi is achala, meaning the intellect, okay, and the mind and intellect, they are absolute in their an absolute quietude. Okay, so that samatvam, when that comes, that equanimity that comes in the mind, and there is no absolute, there is no trace of anything. Okay, so that final piece, when we get that, understand tada yogam avapsasi, understand that that person is firmly established. Right now, what is my challenge is that I have the knowledge, but I is also there, knowledge is also there. Okay, so I have knowledge, but what happens is that when I'm firmly established in this knowledge, this I and knowledge will become one. Okay, at that time, knowledge alone remains, and knowledge in this case is Brahman alone, and Brahman alone remains, or I alone remain. Okay, so that is what is achievement of Sankhya Buddhi. Okay, so that's when you become, in other words, you become Jivan Mukta. And when Jivan Mukta is happened, understand that you are done. Okay. Now, a Jivan Mukta Purusha doesn't need to know whether did I get there or not. Okay. But Arjuna, when he is asking, he wants to understand. So Bhagavan is telling the end goal. Okay. So that is the essence of this shloka. So any questions based on what we heard so far? Any comments, thoughts?
It is basically the understanding
Mhm.
that I am one, that I-ness
Mhm.
has to merge, deleting all the equipments of this world, or that nothing belongs to me but me alone. That realization has to be dawned.
Mhm. Okay, I mean, I'll give a silly example. Okay. So what happened is that I'm showing this, right?
Yeah.
What happened? What is it?
Pen.
Pen, right? So the moment you saw that, there is a thought called pen has come into your mind. Okay, so that means that the mind is disturbed a little bit. Okay, now when you close your eyes, okay, even when there's nothing is visible to you, okay, you close the doors, you closed everything, okay, and there's no cooking smell from kitchen, okay, and there are no ants or anything that are bothering you. So basically, like all the five jnanendriyas are fully in quietude. Okay, so there are no external perceptions that is coming in. At that time, mind should be peaceful, quiet. But if a thought is coming, that means what? There is some kind of a disturbance. And that thought, existence of a thought, in addition to you, that means what? There's a duality.
Right.
Okay? So when you close your eyes, at least at that time, you should experience that oneness where there is no other thought at all. When there is no thought, what happens? There is no you. Okay? I mean, like we all get to that point many a times. But that is usually because as soon as the meditation, the teachers start saying Om, we go to sleeping, right? Because of that, we think that, okay, I did not know who I was. No, not like that, okay? We should be awake and still experience that oneness. Oneness meaning like, I am there, but there's no thought in my mind. And I don't even have the thought that there's no thought in my mind. Okay, so when is that possible? Is because when there are absolutely no questions of any sort in my mind.
But the mind is made up of all the thoughts itself, isn't
The
it?
thoughts are coming. Why are thoughts coming?
Because of the disturbances, or because of the not
Desires bring up the thoughts.
Okay,
not understanding.
the thoughts are coming because of our vasanas.
Right.
Okay, vasanas are being expressed in thoughts.
Thoughts.
Okay,
Okay.
now if you close your eyes, okay, and meditate, do you ever think about Harita or Anirudh?
No.
Why not? But who thinks here about Harita and Anirudh whenever they close their eyes? Me. Why? Because they are my kids. But if you close your eyes, you may think about Girija. Right? So what is the difference between, like, why did I get the thought of Harita and you got the thought of Girija? Because your vasanas are associated with your child. Okay, where there is a thought of this is mine, this child is mine. Okay, so that vasana is the one that is creating that thought. Okay, so when there are no more vasanas, okay, I'm not saying like you should forget about Girija. No, that's not my intent, right? So you are in a state understanding that whether it is Harita or Girija, okay, or Venkat or Sharda, whoever, they're all one and the same. I have nothing to do with them. Okay, they have nothing to do with me. Okay, that kind of a absolute thing is there, then those thoughts won't bother you. Those thoughts about them don't bother you. Okay, those thoughts will only bother you. Only those thoughts will bother you that you think about. Okay, you think about So you live in US, okay? So it is understandable that, okay, what is going to happen to US future? You thinking about is understandable, okay? Even though you don't live in India anymore, you may think once in a while about what is going to happen to India. But you never think about what is going to happen to Uganda simply because we are not related to Uganda in any way, right? So only when we have an attachment, that is when the thoughts are there. Okay, so when complete samadhi is possible when there are no thoughts means what? No thoughts means no vasanas means no attachments. So right in the vairagya, absolute vairagya, only like many of these vasanas are cut down. And how are they cut down? Because of chitta shuddhi. How did we get chitta shuddhi? Because of karma yoga. So karma yoga is again the root is the basic fundamental tenet for us to achieve moksha.
But karma yoga at the same time is an action, right? When you are performing.
And why are you performing action? You mean, okay, please don't, when I say you, please don't think that it's you
No.
personally, right? So why are we performing any action is simple, because we believe that there is some joy in this outside world and we must get some kind of a result from this world. That is why we perform action. Action is because of a desire. Okay, a desire is because of there is ajnana. Ajnana is what? I am this body is the ajnana. That ajnana is leading to action. Ajnana is leading to desire, and desire is leading to action. Right? Even if we perform duties, why do we perform duty? Okay, yes, it is my duty to work at my job. Okay, but why do I go to my work? Is there's a desire, internal inbuilt desire to make money. So it can bring me joy, right? And why do I want to make money? Okay, of course, it is again because of a duty that I, as a earning member of the family, I need to support my family. Okay. So, however, what happened is, what Bhagavan is saying is, continue to do that. No. Okay. Like you don't need to change anything. No. Okay. Rather, what you do now is that instead of thinking like, I need to earn money because I have to take care of my family, don't think like that. Rather, okay, change the attitude. Okay, this is my duty, so I'm doing. If money comes, it is okay. If money doesn't come, it is okay. Whatever Bhagavan does, that's what it is. Okay. Who are these people who I call as my wife, who I call as my children or my parents, are none other than expressions of Lord. Okay. And my role, I myself being an expression of Lord, my role is to bring some revenue, okay, bring some money and try to take care of them. Okay, it is not I am taking care of them, it is Bhagavan who is taking care of them, okay, through this physical body, right? So if Bhagavan intends, good money comes or proper care is given. If Bhagavan doesn't intend, proper care is not given, okay? My thing is that, did I perform to best of my ability or not? As Bhagavan intended, okay? That's all, right? So when you have this kind of a thing, then there is no tension about whether I'm going to get money or not. If it gets, it is Bhagwan's icha. If I didn't get, okay. If I got fired, it is Bhagwan's icha, right? If I got promoted, it is Bhagwan's icha. So have that kind of a attitude. That's the thing.
Surrendering attitude.
Yes. Okay. So that is when there is all the thoughts slow down, the agitation slow down, and then you have a Nischala Samadhi.
Thank you.
It's called work No, what's it called? Earn for your need, not for greed. That's the expression I know Guruji says quite often. The ultimate goal is three things: thoughtlessness, desirelessness, actionlessness. That's the ultimate goal of reaching that highest union with the Bhagavan. But actions are very necessary. If we don't act, we are dead, as it is repeated many times. So we have to perform the right action. That's what all this karma yoga is being taught to us, is how to do the right action and how to perform, because this is a path to purifying mind, and it doesn't get you there. It is one of the pathways to get there, but ultimately you have to do other things. You need gyan, you need bhakti. So combination of all three leads you to the ultimate destination.
Yeah, one will lead to another automatically.
Exactly. But devotion or bhakti is the most critical part. The knowledge and karma are only the means, not the end towards moksha.
Mhm.
Should we conclude?
Yeah. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
Thank you. We're meeting
Thank
too.